I took my Onewheel XR to scout camp, and I did not expect it to be this bad. I'll give you more details in a few minutes, but a little background. So this is me cruising at Peaceful Valley Scout Ranch. It's a very nice scout camp in Colorado, and this is footage of me on a beautiful summer day. This is my 4th year in a row going to this camp with my boys, and every year, because it's in the summer and because you have the Colorado sun beating down on you with all the walking up and down the hills, every year I think to myself, man, there's got to be an easier way to do this. Sometimes I see people on bikes and I envy them until I see them having to huff and puff and eventually walk their bikes uphill. So this year I decided to take up my Onewheel XR, and it was perfect given all the gear that I have to pack into my car with the boys and take up to the camp. The Onewheel Plus just tucked in nicely with all the duffel bags and other camping gear. I decided to try the Onewheel, give a little trail riding another shot, and I expected the Onewheel to cause a little bit of a stir with all the boys at the camp, but I did not expect the commotion to be this bad, and thus the title of this post, this video. I've had the Onewheel for 7 days now, and I'm getting much more comfortable, and as I was riding throughout the camp, I would get comments and questions, endless comments and questions. I'm used to getting comments and questions just when I go riding, but combine that with a lot of middle school and high school aged boys in a small area, and that kind of turned me into almost a celebrity with them. Even with the adult leaders and the camp workers, they would pull over and ask me what I was on, or they would stop me and ask questions. But the adults had the awareness to not to ask to try it out because they feared embarrassment from falling on their butts in front of all the boys and in front of all the other people. But these middle school aged boys with their less developed frontal lobes, they would shout questions or comments as I would ride by. They would shout, "I want to ride that." And I even had one kid who jumped out in front of me as I was going downhill. He was trying to get my attention so he could ride it. So with all the boys asking me to offer them rides, I had to get a little creative with how I turned them down. And so here's my list of how I turned them down. I would tell them, you know, I wish I could, but I needed to make sure my battery lasted the whole day. My other excuse would be, if I gave them a ride, then I'd have to give everybody a ride. I said once that I couldn't give them a ride because my insurance would only cover me and my family members to ride this thing. I told them that I would love to give them the ride, but the last kid who rode it loved the Onewheel so much he wouldn't give it back. I told another kid that if he got his Eagle Scout award, I'd give him a ride. And if I was in a hurry, or even if I wasn't in a hurry, I would say, sorry, but I need to be somewhere right now. So those were some of the excuses I used. I know some of them are a little less than honest, but I was trying to be polite and trying not to cause too much of a disturbance as I would be riding. Sometimes I would go past classes, merit badge classes, and boys would all kind of stopped what they were doing and turned their attention to me on my Onewheel as I zipped by. So in conclusion, I just wanted to give a little report. Again, this was day 7 on my Onewheel XR. I'm getting much more comfortable on it. I find that I'm taking it slow. Remembering to slow myself down if I ever feel myself getting out of control. I've changed my shoes from my first video. These are hiking shoes that I take to camp, and I feel that my feet don't get nearly as fatigued. While I am improving, I think my dismount could still use a little practice. You can see that guy in the background there, the bicyclist. He had been following me for some time and watching me ride this thing. And so yeah, still love the Onewheel. No major falls since my first video, and I continue to hope to improve. And so hope you enjoyed the video of me and my Onewheel XR at Scout Camp.